What if I told you the Carolina Panthers may have just drafted the NFL's next sack king, not in the first round, but on day 2, in a move that shocked the league and thrilled their fan base? As teams scrambled for headline names and flashy picks, the Panthers went to work behind the scenes, executing a draft strategy so sharp, so surgical, that it may have changed the future of their franchise. And at the heart of this strategy, a relentless edge rusher named Princely Umanmielen. A name you might not have known last season, but one you'll be hearing every Sunday this fall. Buckle up, because what the Panthers pulled off this draft could unleash a new monster on the gridiron, and his name is about to be etched in sack leaderboards across the league. As the smoke cleared from this year's NFL draft, one team stood out, not just for the talent they selected, but for the brilliance in how they built for both now and the future. The Carolina Panthers, coming off a season that hinted at promise and potential, knew they had to strike hard. Their defense needed bite, needed fury, and above all, needed players who could change the game. Their war room was focused, and their blueprint was bold. The world had its eyes on their first-round selection, the electrifying wideout Tedairoa McMillan, a move that made headlines. But it was in the depth of the draft, on day 2, where the Panthers quietly executed a masterstroke. Enter Princely Umanmielen, the Ole Miss edge rusher whose college stats alone command attention: 37 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, and 10.5 sacks in his final collegiate campaign. Numbers like that don't lie. They roar. And yet Umanmielen wasn't the name echoing through mock drafts or debated endlessly on sports panels. He was overlooked, underrated, and underestimated. But the Panthers saw through the noise. They saw a defensive gem, rough around the edges maybe, but pulsing with raw, unstoppable power. In the second round, they made a strong move by securing Texas A&M's Nick Scorton, a solid piece for the pass rush puzzle. But it was their next pick, Umanmielen, that turned strategy into sorcery. With just 32 sacks in the previous NFL season, Carolina's defense needed a new identity. They didn't just draft players, they drafted problems for opposing quarterbacks. And Princely, with his fire-forged experience and explosive burst off the line, represents everything a modern edge rusher should be. From his early days at Florida to his evolution at Mississippi, Umanmielen has carved a path of consistency, power, and growth. Over his college career, he racked up a staggering total of 25.5 sacks, a testament to his ability to hunt down quarterbacks with ferocity and precision. At just 23 years old, he's not just a project, he's a weapon. The Panthers' decision to move on from veteran Jadeveon Clowney wasn't just a roster shift, it was a declaration. They're betting on youth, on upside, and on Princely's potential to be more than just a contributor. He could be a cornerstone. It's still early to draw parallels to legends like Julius Peppers, but the trajectory is there, the hunger is undeniable, and most importantly, the opportunity has arrived. With Clowney out of the picture and Umanmielen stepping into the spotlight, Carolina is handing him the keys to one of the league's most important positions. His transition to the NFL will be watched closely, not just by Panthers fans, but by offensive coordinators across the league who will now have to game plan around a rising star they didn't see coming. Dan Morgan and the Panthers front office didn't just draft well, they drafted with purpose. Their choices reflect a vision, one where defense becomes a nightmare for opponents again, and where a young edge rusher with a regal name could soon be crowned the new monarch of sacks. Princely Umanmielen isn't just stepping into the NFL. He's charging in with a mission: to dominate, to disrupt, and to deliver on the massive promise the Panthers saw in him. So remember the name, Princely Umanmielen. Because soon the league won't just be talking about him, they'll be fearing him. As the Panthers look to reclaim their place among the NFL's elite, this draft class might just be the turning point, and Umanmielen the face of their new era. If this season goes as planned, we might all look back at this draft not just as a smart move by Carolina, but as the moment the next sack monarch was born. And when the dust settles, don't be surprised if Princely is standing atop the league's pass rush throne.